Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Upper left hand corner, we got Tom starting as the orange Zerg. Bottom left hand corner, we got Metodman starting as the red Protoss. This is on Dominator. Game 1 going to Metodman, just had better macro than Tom, and I think one aspect was better macro, but another sizable aspect was Tom. Usually Zerg have a lot of success against Protoss if they're able to envelop very rapidly and get kind of the troops position, kind of do the swarming that Zerg is well known for. That's kind of, I think, the big, if I was going to draw a graph, we'll use we'll use the minerals as far as the graph. I feel like Gosu it's a much higher tier thing, but if you can get to a space where you can control multiple units rapidly and have them coming in rather than a stream as a wave, I feel like that is a unappreciated Zerg skill, being able to hotkey all that up and make it happen. And Tom doesn't seem to quite be there yet. Once he has that under his belt, I would expect drastic improvement in this matchup in particular. I think it's also very important versus Terran, especially in the early game with Zerglings and Mutalisks and whatnot. Machine is a guy, by the way, when I think of success at doing that, he's one of the guys that I'm like, yeah, he really can sail with that. Spawning pool, so we got a 9 pool and a extractor trick to get an extra drone to get a little bit more economic feasibility here. Well, let's see if this turns in. I believe this will turn into 6 Zerglings. And Metodman was maybe thinking, he's got the pylon out. Wondering if he was thinking about going for Nexus first. Instead of going to go ahead and drop that forge, and seeing the pool and the state it's at, should definitely drop an initial cannon. 2 would be safe. Wonder if Tom's going to go for a Zergling flood on this, actually, because we do have an inverted map. That drone does not like being electrocuted. Starting to wander out, maybe to go ahead and get scouting information, but also possibly to go ahead and drop a additional hatchery. Are you kidding me, Metodman? Are you still going to try to... He needs to drop the cannons immediately. Okay, are you going to drop that Nexus? Because that would be suicide at the stage. This is still going to be problems, honestly. What he might want to do is draw a few probes off the line. The Zergling's delaying a brief second, one Zergling being peeled off to make this way. This could be very, very close. Hatchery being dropped at the 1 o'clock location rather than the natural, by the way. Granted, it is 2 though, so it should still be okay. The Zerglings might get a run by regardless. Especially if the Overlord moves its way in and takes the first shot or 2. Never mind, this is off a 9 pool too. Okay, cannons will be there in time. The Nexus is going to go ahead and drop. Cannons build so fast. Yeah, I was wondering if they would be able to peek across to make something happen. Probe drawing 1 Zergling in. 2 Zergling. Oh, 3 Zerglings for... That could have been a drone. Could have been. In the meantime, was there a drone killer on the lines? I don't see Zerglings, and I don't see... Did they just redraw? I don't see a kill here, and it looks like that probe that was out on the map is no longer there. Metodman grabbing gas, has the pylon in the space of this as well. 3rd base up along. There's the Zergling killer. Probe gonna sneak back out, has a few Zerglings hot on his heels, but does want to go ahead and get confirmation of what's going on. The 9 pool opener sets Zerg back across the board. Probe's going back around, and this time another probe. That was kind of cute maneuver there by Metodman. So drew the probe up, put another one out in the field, and swung back around to get free and open scouting. Cybernetics core will be spotted by this Overlord on the near side. So the Nexus is going to come up a little bit later for Metodman, but I just feel like 9 pool just sets, even with the 2 cannon investment, it just really slows Zerg down. Layer morphing in. Probe is going to be able to see that hatchery spawning and should be able to swing in to go ahead and see that layer timing as well. I think it's because it's such an early commitment as well, and the commitments that happen early have more kind of that cumulative impact effect. Where did those Zerglings come from? Did those just hatch? I swear they weren't there before. I blink and all of a sudden they're magically in place. Second gas getting grabbed for Metodman, so I'm going to presume he's... I don't think he's going to invest heavy DT again, although it'd be kind of cute to see a DT shuttle drop on this map. Plop him across here in the main and let him run in at the mid game. I definitely think that would catch his opponent off guard. We do have a Citadel of Adun and Stargate in the space of this. Upon eyes on that, Tom going to go ahead and draw back. And all these Zerglings trying to track down... Okay, they find a Zealot. The probe's still there. Going to scout a lot of this to that Zealot. He's got one Zergling kill. He's going to try to make his way. At the very least, Tom has been able to make sure that he's not going up against any sort of early game Hydralisk pressure. The probe just still sitting here in the main. Honestly, I feel like this is a situation where you can cancel the first Corsair if you want to. And I do believe that... Never mind, the Corsair is being built, +1 weapons are being built regardless. I guess you saw the spires, so go ahead and get them up in the air. But point being, you don't need to get in here. You don't need it for the scout. Typically, you want that first Corsair to make sure you get scouting information. It's a secondary benefit to be able to peck away at overlords. The tertiary benefit is as if the spire's fielding a lot of forces at you, you can go, if it is 3 Hatch Mutalisk, you have something alongside a cannon to go ahead and deal with it. Zealot wandering into the top right. Easily going to get dispatched. So that's 2 Zealots that were pretty... They didn't get any drones. They got some scouting information, but were otherwise pretty much wiped out. Another Zealot making its way out here from Metodman. Metodman just constantly wandering these Zealots up, getting a lot of information. He's not getting the best trades out of any of it. Stutter stepping it at this moment. Do we have... We do have Scourge being produced, but this Overlord's certainly going to die. Another Corsair, another Zealot making its way across. Metodman just applying constant and consistent pressure that will supply cap Tom. Where's the Scourge? Yeah, and the Scourge are going to spawn right on top of that Corsair, so should be easy pickings. Another Overlord gets picked off again, though. And the Zealot, okay, now starting to dive up. A creep colony getting dropped to try to cope with this. +1 weapon still upgrading, by the way. No cancellation from Metodman, which leads me to believe this might be a DT follow-up. Another gateway. Another Corsair filing out, although not with his brethren. A couple Mutalisk now in the air. I'm not sure that this was Tom's original plan, but it's what he's doing right this second because I think of all the pressure and economic damage that has occurred thus far. So it's going to be 5 hatch. Usually you'll see 6 hatch Mutalisk, but it looks like this is going to be 5 hatch Mutalisk with +1 armor along the side. Dark Templar making its way out. Good read, by the way, from Metodman to continue that +1 weapons. If you don't see a Hydralisk Den, that is the play. It's going to be 4 Mutalisks, a cannon just in time near the main. Gonna wander around. Where'd the other Corsair? Yeah, so we got the 3 Corsair. This isn't really enough to threaten them. We have... Sunken Colony should draw this back. Metodman, I believe, would be wise to go ahead and pull back. Instead, going to push his way in. Going to get a few drone kills rapidly with this Dark Templar. And wow, a full pullback. Full pullback and the Dark Templar getting into the main. Is he going to get some bonus damage? So 5 drones, not too shabby. Another Dark Templar. Did that warp? I think that Dark Templar got killed and there was another Dark Templar that was set up on a stagger. Yeah, he got 1 kill versus 5. I almost felt like, okay, did he jump? +1 weapons now complete, by the way. We do have 4 Corsair out. 5th one about to join the ranks. That's when the Scourge start to melt against the piles. The Hydralisk Den now being plopped down. This is somewhat late, and I'm wondering if, once again, after that economic damage, Tom switching things up. 6 hatchery at the 1 o'clock location. But he feels kind of a step behind. Metodman hasn't moved out to grab a 3rd, but also hasn't gateway surged yet. Has his own Archon to contend with the Mutalisks, although I think he could probably get it done with some positioning and the Corsair alone. 5 Mutalisks, 6 Scourge. Maybe just wants to escort that Archon out. I don't like this base grab, I will say. We're gonna see some High Templar picked off. No Psystorm ready. This would be these guys just staring each other down. They spot each other, right? Crazy. Dark Templar managed to get... I missed this. 1 o'clock base, managed to get 13 kills. That's what was occupying their attention. Dark Templar still lives with 4 health. Gets 17th kill. I can't believe I missed that. That's game-ending damage too. Here I'm like looking at the main, and the game's actually being decided here in the background. A creep colony being built on top of everything else. Dark Templar gets sneezed on and wiped out finally. Alright, that's, I think, an Essence game. Tom now down 10 workers, down a significant amount of supply. Metodman can very likely grab a base at will. I don't know that this air fleet's going to survive very long. And that's going to open up. Do we have a lot of Hydralisks as well? We've got 3 Hydralisks right now, which isn't going to leave a lot of the other units a lot else. I could see a lot of damage getting done. Now, with only a single Scourge left, those mules can just get hunted. At which point, after the Mutalisks are dealt with, that will be... We're going to see Overlord stew. 4 Hydralisks underneath this. The Zealots and Archon should be able to clear that out. I'm expecting... Well, okay, if they draw back and engage piecemeal like this, still might be a shot, but this is the scary bulk army. 3 sunken colonies on the front. So some Overlords certainly going to die here, but re-engaging, going to clear out the last of the Mutalisks. The Zealot's going to preoccupy the Hydralisks. A lot of damage being wrought. More Hydralisks making their way across. Drones pulling into the Archon. I don't think that's the unit you really... You don't want to drill generally, but that's definitely not the unit you want to drill across. Corsairs waking up. Some Zealots have marched into the main. No Overlord speed, by the way, as of yet. And so the Corsairs making quick work. Everything getting absolutely wiped. Still no 3rd base, though, for Metodman. Not that I think he needs it at this stage. I think he's already in game-winning position. This Overlord, by the way, at strong risk. Yeah, it's gonna get... Well, okay, never mind. Corsair is happy to let it ride by. Kind of a weird star-shaped fire pattern. When the Corsairs start moving, look at their little engines. If they start moving in, they just have like that blank star. It's kind of odd looking. It's like it just shows up and it's not like shimmering anything. It's just a bright star shows up and then goes away. Overlord is just going to dive into the main to see what we're looking at scenario-wise. We have 6 gateways with the 7th. Never mind, 8 on the fray. 2 High Templar and Zealots might get spotted as they're making their way across. 3rd base just coming online. Tom has his economy has been under constant assault this entire time, so he's been somewhat emaciated as far as solid troop counts. Another Overlord going to get picked off alongside these Corsairs. Hydralisks regrouping, but this is such a small army. I think they were hoping to pick off that shuttle. Instead, they're running into a full-fledged assault force. Some Dark Templar might be a good mix. Oop, side-storming his own Zealots. Does he get the shuttle? Shuttle does have 2 High Templar in it, 1 health left. Still might get a High Templar, although it doesn't have energy. It looks like they're going to go ahead and abandon ship. Wisely abandon ship right this second. Nexus about halfway complete. And we don't have range on these Hydralisks as of yet, and they're also in small numbers. Scourge fanning out every direction to try to catch one side of the army to that shuttle if it was making its way forward. Do we have an observer alongside this? We do have an observer. This is very, very good territory to start dropping some Side Storm. One Side Storm clears all of that. Oof. Brutal. We do a reposition of that Northern Lurker. And Tom should GG right this second because this is now going to be a full breach situation. Overlord's going to get pecked at underneath. Again, walking into Side Storm on the reinforcement. And this is before the 9 o'clock is even running here for Metodman. Metodman can just reinforce the front at this stage. Yeah, there's GG. So Metodman up 2-0 in the 3rd place, 4th place match. Just a constant assault this game and really playing some strong PvZ here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.